Yes. I like that. I like that a lot. Welcome to Live at 5:17, which isn't too bad, with me, Carl Greenwood, with my winter tan. I look absolutely translucent in this light. Yes, let's have a A1 if you can hear the audio. A for audio 1, just to make sure that everything's going. If you would be so kind, just to let me know that it's working. You can hear my camera's a little bit off center there. There we are. Lovely. Thank you for joining me on the 18th of December today. Thank you very much, Alison, for the A1 to let me know that that's all going. And you can put a T1 if you're also translucent. I'm almost see-through. I've got absolutely no suntan at all. But there we are. Just come rushing in. It's more or less dark now. And there we are. We have, from today, a minute of extra daylight today. Yesterday, the sunset at 51 minutes past 3. And today, the sunset at 52 minutes past 3. So we had an extra minute. What did you do with that minute? I spent that minute putting on a post about how we got an extra minute of daylight and then explaining how that doesn't necessarily mean that it's the shortest day, because there's a little bit of skew with that the evenings start getting longer, but the mornings are still drawing in. So the actual longest day is still solstice, which this year is on the 22nd. But nonetheless, we've got an extra minute. What did you do with your extra minute? Folks, use the comments if there's anything I can help you with. How can I help you best? We've got various programs that help people. We've got this extra minute. If you made a plan using your extra minute, you wouldn't even notice the extra time that you're putting in on your horse. For me, winter, this time now, going through January and February, is the best time for tuning up your horses, trying new things,
setting out your plan, working out your new tricks, new skills. You're more or less left alone until springtime. When the clocks change, you want to be ready, don't you? You want to be ready to make the most of the season. And for me, this is the best time of year, because you don't always have time to train your horses in the summer, because things are moving on. If you go to an event, if you go to a fun ride or whatever, you don't want to spend time schooling your horse if it hasn't behaved perfectly. So now's the time. If you decide what you're going to do, now's the time. And with the increasing evenings, that little bit of light, and yeah, all right, it's going to get a bit colder, but never mind. We've got this. I'm all warmed up in my fleeces. We go, cold doesn't bother us. It's the light that bothers us. So there we are. Make the most of the winter. So let's start off with how can I best help people. We've got a few programs coming up. It's a funny time of year, isn't it? Don't you think it's a funny time of year? It's kind of quiet. We've got no courses in December because it gets dark so early, although we're over that, as you know. We'll probably put 1 or 2 rider confidence courses, the one-day rider confidence courses, at our stables here. We'll probably do 2 of those in January and probably 4 in February, and then we're off then. We'll be there before you know it. So that's very exciting. Of course, I've got my online course, which can go all year, and the January intake. I like doing a January intake because people have got a New Year's resolution, New Year, new me, and what a brilliant time to sign on and get that change of mindset that you've been wanting. So we've got a course starting on January the 8th. If you want to join that course, it is 3 months deep dive with my assistance, Zoom meetings every week. We're just between courses at the moment, so the Zoom meetings aren't happening. They'll start again with the new intake. I miss them. I quite like doing my evening meetings, but I'll probably do one or two over Christmas because it's good fun. Yes. So how this developed was we've got a course called the Rider Confidence course, where people come and they ride my stunt horses and learn how to rear, learn how to cope with falling, learn how to cope with horses spinning. As part of that, we talk about the psychology of riding and why we get frightened in the first place. And I came to realize that the change in people's mindset was the crucial thing. So I've developed an online course, 3 months, deep dive into the psychology of riding. It's guided by me throughout those 3 months. Maybe it's self-assertiveness that is holding you back. Maybe it's your rider confidence. Maybe it's your horsemanship. Whatever it is, we address it. We talk about it. We back it up with hypnosis. In the Ultimate Rider Confidence course, everything you could possibly think of that's stopping you moving on with your horses, we deal with. It's a real deep dive into psychology. If you're interested in that, drop me a comment, or I'll put a link up, and that will be starting on January the 8th. The Rider Confidence courses themselves, we advertise those a month in advance. So come the end of December, we'll put up what single date or double date is on in January, and we'll probably put up February's as well. And then in February, we'll put... Oh, hello. Come to join us. And then in February, we'll put up March's dates. In March, we'll put up April's dates, and so on and so on. So get on those. We're talking to the Household Cav. We're going back there in January. So that's exciting. If you've been seeing the... what channel is it on? It's on channel 5, I think. The Household Cavalry program. We're on that. We're on episode 4, and in every title sequence. So we're jolly pleased about that as well. Lovely. So that's enough of the housekeeping. Let's get on with the content. I had a comment today and yesterday, and I have this comment quite a lot, that people worry so much about them feeling nervous and passing those nerves on to their horse. I've put an article on my Carl Greenwood page. I hear it all the time, and it's such a given. It's such a given from the leisure community that if you are nervous on your horse, then your horse will pick up on that and it will start to respond. Not necessarily is the answer. Not necessarily at all. I've done so many rider confidence courses here where I've been teaching people how to rear, and they're genuinely frightened before they get on and we start explaining what happens. But obviously people are worried that the horse is going to rear. We've got a way of getting through it that means that you don't have to do this massive pull your brave pants on. So we've got a way of getting people through it and actually enjoying it. And by the time they get off the rearing, they go, that was the best thing I've ever done. And yeah, it's really good fun. But obviously people are nervous in the first place. So if people were nervous, then surely my horses wouldn't just stand there and behave as they do. But they do stand there and behave, even when some people are really frightened and they're trembling and and they can't think of anything and they're panicking and they're not thinking of anything that I'm saying. And I've got my little psychology tricks for getting them out of that state and engaging in it again and becoming professional in their attitudes. But if it was true that fear travels down the reins, horses can feel your heart beating from 100 yards away, they can smell your adrenaline, all sorts of things like that. If that was true, my horses would be reacting. And I say horses because we've had so many people, and when we do acting jobs, the actors are frightened as well, so they're getting on. I've got all the horses that I use, 18 horses here. I can't think, possibly the young one might react to people being jerky with their movements because he's young. So that leaves 17 that wouldn't. And that's when people actually get jerky with their movements, because horses don't feel the adrenaline, they don't smell the adrenaline, they feel the clamping and the pulling and the oh. So there we go. Horses don't necessarily feel the fear going down the reins. I've been really frightened. We did a I can think of loads of shows. Mostly I think of the one with the Queen. And I was really frightened. Well, I'm in front of the Queen. Nothing to do with being on a horse. But if my horse could sense my adrenaline and was going to react in some way, it would have reacted, wouldn't it? So, and it goes the other way as well. Someone put a beautiful comment on the Enjoy Your Horse Club page that if it followed that horses followed our emotions, then when we're daydreaming away, going through the woods and not paying attention, the horses wouldn't spook. But actually, that's when they catch you out, isn't it? Because you're daydreaming away and the horse knows that you've departed and it feels that it has to look after itself. Anyway, I digress. The horses don't necessarily follow our emotions. If you're trembling, if you're so frightened that you're trembling, there's no need to assume that your horse will then pick up on that because it can feel that you're trembling. Because I promise you, I have been up on a film set, up some god-awful quarry in Wales at 2 o'clock in the morning with nothing but a leather vest on. And we've been shaking. We've been proper shaking. Did the horses react? Did they? Nonsense. course they didn't. Because as long as you're not clamping and pulling and ride your horse forward, do what you've got to do, and the horse isn't going to care whether you've got nerves or not. Honestly, I've been in so many nervous situations. There we are. Do horses pick up on people's fears? Some do, some don't. Some always do, some never do. Some do on a Tuesday. You can't go around assuming that you're sitting on a bomb. It doesn't, even if you're on a horse that does pick up when you're feeling nervous, what good does it do you to focus on that? You still need to ride the horse positively forward. You still need to give a nice, clear job. You still need to go from this gate post to that tree in the most perfect working trot that you have ever done. That is so perfect that your instructor would wet herself to see you do. If you concentrate on the job you do have to do, then you won't spend your time focusing on what if the horse can smell my kidneys or whatever it is you've heard lately. So that's my answer to the question. But the question comes up and comes up and comes up. And I hear it so many times that people just say horses pick up when you're nervous without even thinking whether they do or not. I saw a rider confidence lady who was giving a talk through the screen just as I am now, and she said, I'm so-and-so what's it, hypnotherapist and rider confidence coach, and as we all know, horses pick up when you're nervous and they get nervous themselves, so it's very important to not get nervous. What a stupid thing to say. You're a hypnotherapist, you know the power of words. But there we are. It's very important not to get nervous, because if you do get nervous, your horse is going to blow up. Well, how can you not feel like you're sitting on a bomb if that's going to happen? So there we are. People just say it. And then, of course, especially if you're nervous, you just pick it up and repeat it to the next person. Oh, Alana Skews, hello. Yes, you have just joined the club. Very, very nice to see you. So, Alana, forgive me if I'm saying it wrong. If you go to the guides section on the Enjoy Your Hub Club page, there's all the how-tos where I get on a horse and I actually show the things that I talk about on these lives here. And I show them in person on a horse. There's also the written articles, all sorts of things. So make sure you find the guides. If you're on a phone, that's where those hamburger lines are, the 3 lines, they're behind those. If you're on your computer, it should just be under the main picture, and it's got all how to overcome your nerves for hot horses, or how to break down cantering, or just how to desensitize your horse, how to. So there we are. Make sure you get those. And if anybody would like to join the Enjoy Your Horse Club, then go to carlgreenwood.club. That's right, isn't it? Yes. I always forget. carlgreenwood.club, and you can join there. Lovely. The last point that I want to make is I put on a little post. Now, this is quite interesting because this was psychology. How did I come around to it? The post was, don't put safety first, put enjoyment first. If you talk about safety, you're talking about danger. If you're talking about what hat to get, you immediately start talking about the qualities of the hat and how it protects the Z7 vertebrae or whatever it does, and the crush depth or whatever. If you're talking about air jackets, you soon start talking about floating ribs and various vertebrae and the most common accidents. If you're going to talk about safety, then really you're talking about danger. which is fair enough. But if you're constantly talking about safety, that means you're constantly talking about danger. And if you put safety first, if you're constantly safety first, then what you're focusing on is danger first, danger first, danger first, which isn't going to make you feel nice and confident. Now, the reason why we overthink about all the dangers that are there, or all the safeties, it's the same thing, is because we're obviously feeling nervous on our horses. So there's a nervous feeling that if we don't keep in mind the dangers all the time, there's danger all the time. So we must keep in mind safety all the time. And all it is our brains are scared that if they don't remind us of the safety all the time, then we might forget. But of course, I know that we won't forget, because you don't forget. When you go out in your car, you don't forget to put your seatbelt on. But because we're quite comfortable with driving, we don't have our brains constantly reminding us of all the things that could happen. We need to allow ourselves almost to say to the frightened part of our brains, I'm not going to forget the safety. I'm not going to. Look, I've done it. Look, I've got my high vis on. Look, I've got my air jacket on. I've done it. I've done the safety. You don't have to keep reminding me. Otherwise, I will never get around to enjoying myself. If you put enjoyment first, if you're like, right, I'm going to go out, I'm going to really enjoy myself. What are we going to do? We're going to do this little exercise and that little exercise, and we're going to get this bit of equipment out, and we're going to do this little thing, and I'm really looking forward to it. Then within that, especially because we're already a little bit nervous or excited or a little bit adrenaline, we're going to have the safety stitched in anyway. Nobody is going to run up to their horse and go, sod the safety, I'm going to go and enjoy myself. As part of enjoying yourself, the safety is dealt with. Let's go and try these new jumps. Looking forward to this. Let's go. And you don't have to constantly be like, oh, be aware of the danger, be aware of the danger. Don't enjoy yourself, because if you enjoy yourself, then you'll forget to be safe, is what our nervous brains are thinking. And then we're overthinking. But if we relax, allow ourselves, I've done the safety. I've done the safety. Just like when you put your seatbelt on. I've done the safety. I can forget that now. Safety's done. And our brains are constantly trying to remind us of the dangers. No. I've done this. Now I'm going to concentrate on enjoying myself. I'm going to enjoy myself. We're going to come round this corner and I'm going to pull straight into here. We're going to hit that jump with exactly 90 degrees, and we're exactly in the middle. And we're going to get a beautiful line coming out of that jump going into this jump. We're just going to do a little bit of a change of lead just here. And that's not going to happen if you're constantly going safety first, safety first, safety first. No. Enjoyment first, and the safety's stitched in. Don't worry that you're going to forget to be safe. You've dealt with the safety. You've done that, and you can enjoy yourself. Enjoyment first. Nobody bought a horse. And someone said, why have you bought a horse? Oh, so I can be safe. No, that wasn't it, was it? It wasn't safety first. It was like, I bought a horse so I can enjoy myself. I bought a horse so I can gallop across the fields with the wind in my hair. Well, I don't know if I can get the wind in my hair very much. But we bought a horse because in our heads, we were enjoying ourselves doing this, that, and the other. The joy of horses. Oh, it'll be beautiful. Beautiful is what we wanted, not safe. Nobody bought a horse to be safe. We bought a horse to enjoy ourselves. Within that is stitched all the safety. Don't put safety first, put enjoyment first. Lovely. I'm going to have a quick read of the comments. If I can help anybody with anything, stick it in the comments. I've already said what I haven't said is we've got the online confidence course coming up starting January the 8th, the deep dive into psychology, and it's psychology based. We've got the rider confidence courses, the practicals, coming up in the new year. And then we've got the new date for the Confident to Canter. Confident to Canter, people have a problem with canter. We've got a whole weekend dedicated to having fun with canter. It's been a great success last year. Loads of people flying up and down. If you want to see how we're going to break it down, in the Enjoy Your Horse Club page, under the guides is how to be confident to canter, and it will show you exactly what we do. If you're not in the Enjoy Your Horse Club, then if you put confident to canter into my YouTube, you'll find it and you'll see exactly how we're going to break it down. So that's coming up. So if you want to join the Confident to Canter, get booked in quick. It's on the 18th and the 19th of May, but the course has proved very popular and they sell out pretty quick. The first day will be dealing with spinning and rearing and falling so that we don't have those fears before we set off to do the cantering on the second day. It's been a great success. I really do like it. It's great fun. If anyone's already been on the Confident Canter Camp, stick a note in the comments for everybody else how good it was. So that's May 18th to 19th. If there's any way that I can help you in any other way I can't think of, stick it in the comments. Lovely. Thank you very much, Jamie Greenwood. Thank you. I like your surname. And Alison Jane, thank you. Oh, Alison, yes. I'm just going to stick that up. Little testimonial for the 3-month course there. So thank you very much for putting that. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Alana. Thank you, Toya. Let me know in the comments if I can help you at all, but that's me. I'm out. It's been lovely talking to you. See you later.